building some 9-foot long oars, and I wasn't really sure how to do it. I've never built oars before. I got some plans, but they like some free plans off the internet, but they don't have all the dimensions. And anyway, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. I dadoed out the middle of these two pieces, and they're going to be glued like this. This is solid for the handle, and then it's solid for the oar pin, and then it's solid for the end, where some of this will be cut away to contour to the shape of the paddle. And then after it's all glued up and dried, I will test the strength of it. If it's too flexible, I can still add some strips of wood to the exterior, and I can also add some fiberglass and epoxy to the exterior. All right, so far here are the two paddles. The two parts are glued up, the plugs are in place, and now I'm going to add this strengthening area on equal sides of the pin location. The pin, that's where the greatest force is on an oar, is actually at the pivot point. And the other thing that's interesting to note is these two sides, the center of mass is slightly over this way of the pin. So what happens is now this inner part of the rowing oar becomes slightly heavier, and so it won't be as the end of the paddle won't be as heavy. Okay, the next step is to make the paddles for the oars. I just happen to have this leftover ash veneer. This is for a chair back. Looks like that. Problem with, and I have this mold and I have a vacuum bag, but I really don't, if I curve this much, I don't really know how I'm going to attach it to the solid bar. So instead of using that, I found this, and I think this might be just perfect. This is the mold for my skimming disc amas, and it's only 2 inches tall. And if I make a bunch of these and stack them like this, then I can stick this. I'm going to use seven layers. Yeah, this is 7. Let me see. 1. You always use an odd number of layers. You don't want to have a glue line in the middle. A glue line in the middle does nothing. So if you use always odd numbers, then you don't have to worry about having a totally useless glue line. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think that's going to be strong enough to make a paddle. Here are my blanks, and it's just over 8 inches tall. The plans call for 8 inches wide paddle. This is not quite 8 inches, it's a little bit shy, but I think I'm just going to go with what I have, which is that. And this is the pattern. So next I just tack it onto here, cut most of this off with the bandsaw, and then the rest of it with a flush trim router bit. All right, let's see how much this thing weighs so far. Let's see, where's the center of balance? About right here. 5 pounds. All right, I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm sure carbon fiber would be lighter and solid wood would be heavier, so it's somewhere in the middle, I'm sure. All right, here's the paddle so far. I have to plug this hole with a little wedge, but Yeah, so the middle is cherry and the outside is sapele, which is a little bit stronger and a little bit more straight grained. And it goes back to this. This is a hollow section. And then there's another, at the end here, there's another plug. It's 17 inches long. That's solid. And that's where I'm going to cut in like this to put the flipper on there. Okay, so how much weight should this paddle hold? 2/3 of my body weight. Yeah, that's a lot of flex. So what I'll do is I'll sheathe this section from here on down there. That's gonna be wrapped in fiberglass. I need to do at least 1 or 2 impulse strokes to get this thing planing. Following the shadow. No CNC machine required. Just one pattern, a bandsaw, and a router table. Yeah, interesting enough, the first job that I got out of college was making bent lamination chairs. So I worked there for about 10 months and I learned the whole process. And then I took a class on wood bending at the Center for Furniture Craftsmanship. And now I've made several dozen chairs. But yeah, you don't really need a CNC router and all that kind of stuff to do this kind of stuff. We didn't have it back then, and we still managed. I'm just using Type-Bond 2. It dries a little bit quicker than Type-Bond 3. Of course, it does have yellow dye in it, and it turns my fingers yellow if I use it all day long. Okay. Okay. Looks pretty flat. All right, that's done. It's gonna make a nice paddle shape. Okay, this vacuum bag has a pump that you can run it all night and it won't burn up. It's I got it specifically for this operation. But yeah, I can leave this plugged in all night and it will not burn the motor up, and it will keep all the air out. I had to add this dowel here to create a channel for the suction to get all the way to here. But yeah, that's part number 1.